House going to do?
One on CPI, if I may.
Sure.
We're seeing some price pressures that can't necessarily be explained away by shrinkflation or continued issues with supply chains. If you look at the cost of services such as auto repairs or healthcare, those costs are still rising. So what is the White House's message, or what is to Americans who, for example, may have to take out a loan to fix their car? What specifically is the administration doing to lower the cost of services?
And that's a good question. And look, we've been very clear here that prices are still too high. We're going to do everything that we can to lower cost. Obviously, we understand there's more work to be done, but this is an economy that is in a much different place than it was a year ago, a much different place, obviously, than it was 3 years ago. But obviously, we're going to continue to do the work to make sure that we do everything that we can to lower cost. And that is a number one priority for this president. When he talks about his economy or his economic policy, economic plan, that's what you see.
There are elements of the report, food, shelter, services, that all kind of accelerated, certainly above estimates. And I'm wondering, you said the economy was in a much different place. Is there any worry that inflation might actually be picking back up and that we could see sort of a
So
bit more?
we have concerns, basically. And you've heard Jared say this from this podium, and many others who are part of our economic team, is that we look at trends. That is something that we do here, and not read too much to data from 1 month. That is how we operate here, and others do as well. But we certainly understand that there's more work to be done to lower costs. That is something that we're aware of. As we transition to a steady and stable economic growth, which you hear us speak to that very often. And so what I will say is inflation is down 2/3 from its peak. Core inflation is the lowest since May 21st. And we know that rental inflation has slowed, but it takes a while to show up in CPI. And so, look, that's what we say. We look at the trend. We see how the economy is moving, and we don't focus on a 1 month data. And so I think that's what's important here. But we're also going to continue to do the work to lower costs. Go ahead. Okay. All right. So maybe tomorrow we'll start at 9:30.
On that note, a quick housekeeping question. Is there a particular reason for should we expect notice later?
Well, obviously, I want to be careful with that. I always am. There's always a possibility to hear from the president. I don't have anything to share about anything to add on his schedule that's public facing. It's starting early, honestly, because of my schedule. And I appreciate you all being here at 10:15. I also have a busy schedule, just like all of you. But no, I don't have anything to share at this time.
When you made light of the president's verbal flubs, had you been briefed on the special counsel report or seen it at all?
Nope, not at all. And what do you mean when I made light of the president's verbal flubs?
Well, you made some jokes in response to questions about the president confusing world leaders with deceased world leaders. And
what I did was I tried to state very clearly that, and yes, I did it in a light way because it does happen to many people. And I actually talked about one of your colleagues that I do it to all the time. And so, look, I just want to be very clear. This is a president